In the ancient forests of Eastern Europe, where the trees whispered secrets and shadows played tricks on wandering souls, there was a tale passed down through generations, a tale that made the bravest hunters shiver and the most seasoned travelers lose their way. This was the tale of Arachnia, the spider-human woman whose web was a death sentence for any unfortunate enough to be ensnared. Arachnia was once a beautiful maiden, a daughter of a humble weaver. Her father, Gregor, was known throughout the region for his exceptional skills. His tapestries were vibrant stories captured in threads, and his reputation brought him much renown. Yet, it was Arachnia's beauty that drew even more attention. With hair as dark as the midnight sky and eyes as green as the forest canopy, she was the pride of the village and the envy of many. Despite the admiration, Arachnia was not content. She found the human world dull and craved something more, something mystical. She would often venture into the forest, seeking the company of creatures and spirits that hid from the eyes of ordinary men. Her favorite companion was an old, wise spider named Nera, whose web spun intricate patterns that seemed to tell the future. One fateful day, as Arachnia watched Nera weave her web, she voiced her deepest desire. "Nera," she said, "I wish to weave like you, to create patterns that hold magic, to be more than just a mere human." Nera, who had lived for centuries and seen the folly of human wishes, warned her, "Be careful what you wish for, child. The power to weave such magic comes at a great cost." But Arachnia was determined. She begged and pleaded until Nera finally relented, sharing the secret of the enchanted web. However, the magic required a binding, an irreversible transformation that would tie Arachnia's fate to the spiders forever. Blinded by her ambition, Arachnia agreed without hesitation. As she wove her first enchanted web, a strange sensation enveloped her. Her limbs elongated and transformed, her fingers turning into delicate, jointed legs. Her senses heightened, and she could feel the vibrations of the world through her web. She had become something more than human, a creature of myth and darkness. At first, Arachnia reveled in her new abilities. She could weave webs that captured the dreams of those who slept nearby, foreseeing their futures or altering their destinies. But with this power came an insatiable hunger, a need to trap and consume the life force of others to sustain her new form. As word spread of the strange disappearances near the forest, fear took hold of the villagers. Hunters and brave souls ventured into the woods, but none returned. The villagers soon realized that the forest had become cursed, and the legend of the spider-human woman took root in their collective fears. One evening, a young man named Thomas, driven by grief and desperation, ventured into the forest. His sister had vanished days ago, and he was determined to find her. Armed with nothing but a torch and a knife, he delved deeper into the woods, following the whispers and flickers of shadow. The forest seemed alive, the trees closing in around him, guiding him toward his doom. As he pushed through the underbrush, he stumbled upon a clearing illuminated by the pale light of the moon. In the center stood a web of unimaginable beauty and complexity, shimmering like a veil of diamonds. But entangled within it were the lifeless bodies of those who had come before him, their faces frozen in expressions of terror. Before he could react, he felt a presence behind him. He turned to see Arachnia, her form both alluring and horrifying. Her upper body remained that of the beautiful maiden, but her lower half was a grotesque amalgamation of spider legs and spinnerets. Her eyes, once green, now glowed with an unnatural light. "Welcome, Thomas," she purred, her voice a blend of silk and venom. "I've been expecting you." Thomas tried to flee, but his legs betrayed him, tangled in the sticky threads that seemed to materialize around him. Arachnia moved with an eerie grace, her legs barely touching the ground as she approached. She caressed his face with one of her spindly legs, her touch cold and predatory. "Why do you resist?" she whispered. "I can show you things beyond your wildest dreams, weave your destiny into something extraordinary." But Thomas saw through her seductive words. He could feel the malevolence that radiated from her, the insatiable hunger that drove her. With a surge of adrenaline, he slashed at the web with his knife, cutting himself free. He ran, the forest blurring around him, but the sound of her laughter followed him, echoing in his mind. He stumbled out of the forest, collapsing at the edge of the village. The villagers found him the next morning, muttering incoherently about the spider-woman and the enchanted web. They tended to his wounds, but the experience had left him a shadow of his former self. Word of Thomas's encounter spread, and the village elders decided to seek help from a distant land, where a renowned sorcerer named Marius was said to reside. Marius was known for his knowledge of the arcane and his ability to combat dark forces. The delegation was sent, and after many days, they returned with the sorcerer. Marius listened to the tale of Arachnia and the cursed forest. He nodded gravely and agreed to help, though he warned the villagers that such a creature could not be easily defeated. On the night of the full moon, Marius ventured into the forest, armed with ancient spells and a staff carved with protective runes. The forest seemed to recognize his presence, the trees whispering secrets and warnings. He followed the path Thomas had described, his senses alert to the unnatural energies that permeated the air. As he entered the clearing, he saw the web, shimmering in the moonlight. Arachnia emerged from the shadows, her eyes fixed on the sorcerer. "Another fool comes to challenge me," she hissed, her voice dripping with contempt. Marius stood his ground, his staff glowing with a faint light. "Arachnia," he called out, "your reign of terror ends tonight." She laughed, a sound that sent shivers down his spine. "You think you can defeat me, sorcerer? I am more than human, more than spider. I am a force of nature." With that, she lunged at him, her legs moving with blinding speed. Marius chanted an incantation, and a barrier of light sprang up around him, deflecting her attack. They circled each other, the air crackling with tension. Marius knew he had to act quickly. He raised his staff and spoke the words of a powerful binding spell, directing it at the web. The web began to glow, its threads tightening and vibrating. Arachnia screeched in rage, trying to break free, but the spell held her fast. As the binding took hold, Marius approached her, his voice steady and commanding. "Arachnia, you have brought suffering to these lands. It is time for you to face justice." With a final incantation, he unleashed the full power of his magic. The web collapsed in on itself, drawing Arachnia into its center. She screamed, a sound of pure agony, as the magic consumed her, breaking the curse that had bound her to her monstrous form. When the light faded, the clearing was silent. Marius stood alone, his strength nearly spent. Where Arachnia had stood, there was now only a small, delicate spider, trembling in the moonlight. He picked it up gently, understanding that the curse had not destroyed her, but transformed her back to a simpler, purer state. He carried the spider back to the village, where the people awaited anxiously. He showed them the spider and explained what had happened. The villagers, though still wary, understood that the curse had been lifted. Marius released the spider into the forest, hoping that Arachnia's spirit would find peace in her new form. The forest slowly returned to its natural state, and the disappearances ceased. The tale of the spider-human woman became a legend, a warning to those who sought power without understanding the consequences. Years passed, and the village thrived once more. But the memory of Arachnia lingered, a reminder of the thin line between human and monster, and the dangers that lurked in the shadows of ambition and desire.